What's up, guys? This is Coach Vic, reaching out to you, and this is really going to be a slight training. It's an overview and then a 4-point training on the MADE formula and how the MADE formula came to be. And I'll go over this, guys, again with you, and you guys will go through creating your own formula, your own steps, your own blueprint to be able to articulate how you got to where you wanted to go so you can teach people. But in this specific segment, I want to go over with you how the formula came to be and how powerful this formula is and why we include it in all our training systems and all my programs and all of my products within the Champion Development Academy. So again, the story unfolds with me sitting at the beach crying, asking God where I need to be and what I need to do and who really am I, right? So as we talked about before, we go through this phase of purpose where we go, who am I? Why am I going through all these things? What is it that I'm really supposed to be doing? Not your calling, but your purpose. Now, during this phase, I'm sitting there, I'm crying again, I'm watching the sun, I'm feeling the water on my feet, I'm listening to my own thoughts kind of cross back and forth in my mind, yet at the same time, I'm actually listening for the surroundings. Because again, I'm seeking. I'm wondering what purpose is, and you figure when you call out to God and you ask whether you believe in God, whether you believe in whatever that is that you believe in, you begin looking for or seeking a sign, yet we know that the sign not necessarily is going to come that we expect because signs are around us all the time. So I get back in my car and I put on this CD that plays this message about living through inconvenience and accessing your power at will. Through being powerful already enough, but what we tend to do is under circumstances and internal pressures, we hide those powers and we begin to play weak. So I heard that and I was like, you know what? I need to go to this. This may be my calling. This may be my understanding, at least at the moment, of where my directional component of purpose is headed. So I go to this class, and as I'm there, I'm realizing that I know some of the principles. I understand some of the principles. I've been through those principles, and I've implemented them in my life that got me where I was before. Yet at the same time, I was facing a challenge that I hadn't had. So when I was there, I took down a shit ton of notes about what they were talking about what was going on, about where the benefits were and where the downsides were for some of the other people who were there. And I put together this formula that was eternally for me at the time. So I got back, and then I spent a year in bankruptcy, and lo and behold, the moment I got the opportunity to implement the strategy, the formula that I put into place, I did. Boom. So right away. But what that was, like I said before, here was the formula, which is the MADE formula, which I've come to be, right? You create this mission, right? That mission focuses in agreement. I think we lost our lights a little bit. That agreement focuses on a decision. That decision moves us to execution, right? To the mission. So first we have mission. So once we create a mission, we understand that there's a deeper component of this mission, which is why we're all here. We all feel as though we're on this mission or this attempt to move our businesses and our lives forward. The problem is this: a lot of times we don't make that mission a stationary mission. We make our missions a moving target. So we don't always get what we want because we aren't always solid in the effects of what we want and why they became the reason for our personal existence, at least in that endeavor. When we do that and we situate that mission, we then move to agreement. With that agreement in place, we understand that this agreement, this is now the new law. Our new agreement situates and makes our mission now stationary. So when we have that in place, we move to a decision. This is not the decision to say yes or no. We've already done that here. This is the decision that says, if shit goes to hell in a handbasket, where do I go? What am I willing to accept? That's as close to the mission as I can. That says that I refuse to just die on the vine. I will run as quick as I can with the dynamite strapped to my chest and grab something or someone as close as I can to this mission, and we will blow up together and we will get as close as we can to where we need to be. That is my agreement. That is this alternative decision that I make towards my mission, and then we move into a level of execution, which is where typically people fail. They don't make their execution a one-line thing. They don't say, well, I'm gonna take action, but if something comes up, I don't know if I'm going to stop. You already know that going in the door that you will not stop before you even charge the hill. before you move on some of the things that you said you were going to move towards your decision, or your decision, but towards your mission, you say, hey, look, I have a mission. This is what I really want. This is what I'm looking to achieve. I have an agreement in place that this is truly what I want. I have an understanding based on these components of my decision-making process that all of this shit may come up. Once I understand that all of this shit comes up, I know that with this agreement in place, this may come up. I make an alternative decision for where I need to be towards my mission. And then I begin to execute. I go dark, I go light, I go clutch, I go zone, I go instinct, I go success is my only option, and I fucking make this happen. Boom, because that's the mission. You figure when I put this into place, I went from 90 days to having absolutely nothing fresh out of bankruptcy, to being educated in the direction that I needed to go, to understanding the things that I was willing to go through to do it, to understanding my different options that were in place, to bam, having over a multi-million-dollar net worth in 90 days. By just doing these things. Now, I had been doing them prior to get all of the things that I lost, but I didn't realize that my attachment to those things, I didn't understand that had I lost them, that there was no formidable steps to ever get them back, because I wasn't playing at that level. I was in acquisition mode, not reconstruction mode. On reconstruction mode, I had to break down what I did to get there, and breaking down what I did to get there caused me to relook at my life, rethink my mission, rethink my statements, rethink the way that I do business by looking at it, by saying, dude, how did I fucking get here? This is how I got here. I knew what I wanted up front. So I will go through these as a component of teaching you, so we can go through them consistently in a manner of execution in your 30-day challenge, in your 90-day challenge in our program, as well as any other programs that we have or any other products that you're involved in. All of them circle around being involved in our program, our coaching program, our mentor program, our one-on-one coaching programs, and our mastermind year-long program, as putting together missions in each component of our lives that we're willing to accept, and then going through these steps to execute them all the time. That way we never miss our mark. We can continue to rely on each other and hold each other for where we need to be in that space. I know your mission, you know mine, you can hold me to mine, I can hold you to yours, and we can work together and get to the end result. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll go through the components of the mission.